What's your name, what you do, and your relationship to them?
Okay. My name is George Collins Oduor. I'm a social scientist by profession. Currently, I am a founder and executive director, Transform Empowerment for Action Initiative. Now, for Sitarusha Mawe, these are part of our partners. And basically, where we link is in our program in terms of peaceful coexistence and tolerance. And this is because many a times during elections or in any time that people are supposed to have a serious conversation, then in many cases, we've seen young people engaging in things that are not very good for this nation. And that is how we got to work with Boniface, because again, Boniface also has a team that is basically pushing on how to engage meaningfully the young people in terms of what they want to do and see that they also participate in nation building. So at that point, we've managed to build a niche amongst ourselves. So there are a few partners here and there that we have been working with together in terms of pushing that agenda. For instance, in the just concluded election, that is the 8th one, before then we had quite a number of peace activities that we were doing with Sitarusha Mawe. To be very specific, they organized riders campaign. And we also did the same in terms of bringing resources together so that we can see, we had to see how this could work for both of us in terms of ensuring that there was peaceful coexistence before, during, and after elections 2017. Then we've had debates also as well. And also, I know Sitarusha Mawe is also engaged in sports, which Boni has been very, very instrumental in it. And again, this area, there are quite a number of young people who are talented in football, volleyball, and other sports. And these are some of the things that also augurs well with us, because the foundation of this organization was immediately after the post-election violence of 2008, where we were working with the Search for Common Grounds and Media Focus on Africa. So that is when we recruited Akina Boni to be part and parcel of these processes. But one thing that we have always encouraged, that those who we work with need to have other initiatives, because team alone cannot do all these things. So during that time, Akina Boniface were also able to come up with Sitarusha Mawe. We also have other networks besides the one that we deal with him closely, who are also doing the same. And this is spread not only in Kisumu, but it goes beyond the Kisumu County only. Yeah.
From the campaign, what would you say, according to your eyes, is the result of this campaign, of the Sitarusha Mawe campaign? What result have you seen?
The result, okay, that question is interesting. The result of the campaigns for Sitarusha Mawe, if you compare the violence in 2008 and the violence in 2013 and 2017, they're very different. This only intensified because it took a political direction. However, there are no young people who just woke up at 20 to Rushe Mawe, because in one way or another, they were able to have realized that you go out there, the politician's child is not there, the politician's wife is not there, not even the girlfriend. But you see, the conversation we've always had at, look here, when somebody is asking you to go out there, then let them also go there so that they get to know what is happening. So when I look at, in terms of the impact, in terms of how people have been engaging, I would say Sitarusha Mawe has really tried a lot in terms of engaging these young men and women. And even if you took time to look at what I just concluded in around 26th, that was not really the citizens themselves coming out. It's somebody somewhere who is saying, wait a minute, we have to stop these guys. Yeah. So to me, what we used to have initially is where young people could just come out and just do things, rob people, mug people, and create chaos. But this time round, somebody has to go there and tell them, way, ebu tuende tupangeni huko, alafu tukaishi. So I would say they've done quite a lot in terms of that. But of course, impact has to be measured after some time.
You've explained everything that you wanted to ask, especially in the first part that for the summary.
Yeah.
Okay, so how okay, you're going to relate with Sitarusha Mawe beyond today?
Yeah. Or moving forward. We have designed quite a number of programs because we have realized elections and political contest is taking different directions. The dynamics are crazy. And one of the things that we are planning from our department that basically focuses on young people, we are introducing entrepreneurship. And here we want to partner very closely again with the private sector. Because our analysis is that any demonstration, anything that goes beyond what can be controlled, it is the business community that is being affected. So moving forward, we are likely to engage Sitarusha Mawe in another level, where our conversation will not only talk about it is bad to create chaos. Because one of the things that is coming very clearly, and this is analysis we've done just by the concluded elections here, Juzi, we've come to realize there are quite a number of young people. These people are not less than 2,500. There could be more. And these people are organized. One, because they don't have any responsibility. It's the age between 14 to 24. No responsibility whatsoever. And once somebody does not have a responsibility, the next thing this person will engage in is something that is not productive. So then we are saying, why don't we organize these young people? And we know Sitarusha Mawe also have cohorts of young people wherever they are. Our idea is not to create new structures, but to strengthen the structures that are there. And they're going to be very key in terms of organizing and mobilizing, so that we can now introduce these young people into socioeconomic empowerment. And we believe that if you have a business you are doing, I don't see if you're going to spoil that business, because in one way or another it is adding value to you. The other thing that we are thinking, and this is a conversation we want to have with the microfinance institutions, like an organization like TEAM, banks in these banks. And one of the things that we've never seen is what do the bank do. And this is something you can also pick up. Umeweka milioni kule ya 20, milioni 30. We don't need calendars, for God's sake. What is this thing that this bank specific can do to the young person? Because they say they have foundations. When you start following that foundation, you don't get it where it is. So we are even thinking of starting a movement that if this bank that we put our money in is not going to support our initiatives, then we have no business with them. We are not interested in calendars. We can print those calendars. But we want to see this investment per capita. The same applies to supermarket. And we are also pushing the agenda of 30% procurement. And this is a conversation that we've even have with the county government. And out of that, we have partnered with Sitarusha Mawe in creating Kisumu Art and Culture Guild. The reason is very simple. Art is an investment that can employ so many people. It's an industry, big time. So we are saying, and the governor has appreciated, and I think a number of things have happened in terms of how we want to promote this. Because then we are saying, you cannot just tell people not to throw stones and they don't have anything in their pockets. So with the vast experience Sitarusha Mawe has, we will strengthen that institution. And we will ensure that we work together so that we are able to see these young people moving to the next level.
What does TEAM stand for?
Transform Empowerment for Action Initiative. It used to be...
I think you said it before.
Yeah. It used to be movement, but mambo ya registration. We were doing this thing at a time when Raila was in the government. And that is the time Raila was also opposing Yes Youth Can. You know, these are history that we can't forget. So when we talked about Transform Empowerment for Action movement, and then there was Yes Youth Can, people, when they go to government, they start looking at these things differently.
Yeah.
So we couldn't register as a movement. But we had already marketed the name TEAM.
As a movement.
Yes. So then the M changed to I. So we have a trade name TEAM. That is what is known outside there. And by the way, we have women whom we trained. We have a political leadership program. And right now we have those women whom we trained, as in wale wajawai enda siasa, but they managed to maneuver and win elections. So those are the people we want to use as structures to pass legislation on how to support these young men and women.
At the county
Kisumu County, Migori County, Nyamira, and Kisii. We have women whom we prepared 6 months training and campaigns.
How many are there?
In Kisumu we have 4, Nyamira 2, Migori 2, Kisii 2. Then of course now they are nominated. The others who are nominated and the others who are appointed. But to us, those are just enough. As long as you are a police legislature, we are good to go.